Station of Houston on the big loop. We have a good loop check, and we're ready for you to pick up in Dragon Pressurization Ingress Part 2. Your go at SEC 3.1. That's it. That's good, Rich. And just while I have you near an ATU, we're also getting ready for Dragon Hatch Open, of course, and the PAO event. And just looking at our downlink, if you could zoom in just slightly, a touch of zoom on the Note 2 camera, I think we'll be set. Taking a look. And Woodstockers, that's perfect, Mark. Thank you.
And with those words, we did just get confirmation that there was a good leak check. So next up, the pressure will be brought up and equalized to that of the pressure inside the space station. Additionally, we heard some words about some slight camera adjustments for an upcoming welcome ceremony that will have about 35 minutes after hatch opening.
And copy that. Thanks, Taylor. We'll put that in work and let you know when we're back on board.
Again, NASA astronaut Mark Vande Hei has completed thermal equalization on the vestibule between Dragon and station. Following this, the vestibule's pressure was brought up to about 5 pounds per square inch where a leak check was performed. Everything checked out smoothly with that leak check, so the pressure is now being brought up to equalize it between that of the pressure inside the station. Once pressure is equalized and after a couple more checks, Vande Hei will be given a go to open up the station side hatch, the A-Pass hatch. Once that's open, he'll be able to see the crew inside Endurance. His main job then will be to configure the station side hatch, which is currently configured with a docking target, which is just a small rod with an X on the end that provides guidance for the Dragon during its approach to dock with space station. He'll remove that target and provide padding to allow safe entry for the Crew 3 astronauts into the space station. We're still targeting a hatch opening shortly after 7 p.m. Central Time, as well as a welcoming ceremony to begin approximately 35 minutes after hatch opening. We're in a brief expected handover between our satellites, but we'll regain communications here shortly. And as a reminder, we are taking your Ask NASA questions throughout the broadcast today, so if you have one, send it our way using the hashtag AskNASA. Our next question comes from Carrie, who wants to know, do they get to watch any TV shows or movies on their downtime aboard the space station? This is a great question, Carrie, and yes, indeed, the crew members do get to watch TV and movies. They can be sent up from teams on the ground. In fact, last night, NASA astronaut Mark Vande Hei stayed up a little bit past his bedtime so that he could watch his crewmates launch to the space station. So if you watched our broadcast last night, you were watching it alongside an astronaut. Now those crew members have successfully arrived to the International Space Station, and we're looking forward to hatch open in less than an hour from now.
The space station is 3037.
Dragon, no response required, but cameras are internal. Endurance comes.
Again, with that call, we may be getting some internal views inside Endurance here shortly. The crew has doffed or taken off their spacesuits as they are no longer needed for this portion since they've arrived to the International Space Station.
Next, for tracking purposes, Endurance, we're on through partway through section 4.012 for the doffing, and then at 4.400 we're working on section 3 now. And copy that, Endurance. I have you the same as waiting. I see about 18 minutes left on my suit drawing timer, and then you guys are working through section 3. Thanks for the status update.
To confirm for 3.2, you want to take out all the bottles and everything like that, consolidate everything. But when it talks about the packing plan, then 3.1, you're still talking about the asset plan, right?
Affirmative, that is the asset packing plan on your tablets.
On board the International Space Station, NASA astronaut Mark Vande Hei continues to work through procedures in anticipation of hatch opening. He's configuring cargo bags in order to be able to open that hatch here shortly. If you're just joining us this evening, the Crew 3 astronauts have successfully docked to the International Space Station Central Time yesterday from Launch Pad 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The crew of Rajachari, Kayla Barron, Tom Marshburn, and European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer docked to the orbital outpost at 5:32 p.m. Central Time this evening. Inside the International Space Station, NASA...
The APAS hatch is open and there is no condensate seen.
We copy, hatch open, no condensation then.
Great news now that the APAS hatch is open. We're one step closer to welcoming the crew on board the International Space Station. NASA astronaut Mark Vande Hei should now be able to see his new crewmates aboard the SpaceX Endurance vehicle. And you can see their spacesuits in that drying configuration there. Towards the middle of your screen is NASA astronaut and commander of Endurance, Rajachari. First time space flight for him. And to the right of your screen is European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer. Along with their crewmates Kayla Barron and Tom Marshburn, they're continuing to step through procedures ahead of hatch opening. And we are in a brief expected handover period between our satellites, but we'll regain video and communications here shortly. As those preparations on both sides continue, the Crew 3 astronauts are getting things configured on their end and will join the 3-person crew onboard station. That's NASA astronaut Mark Vande Hei, as well as Roscosmos cosmonauts Pyotr Dubrov and Anton Shkaplerov, the current space station commander, and that will bring the total crew members on station to 7. Upon hatch opening, we'll see some hugs and shared camaraderie, and then we'll all be really looking forward to seeing the welcome ceremony, which is slated to begin approximately 35 minutes after hatch opening. Still tracking a hatch opening shortly after 7 p.m. Central Time this evening. It looks like NASA astronaut Mark Vande Hei is getting cargo bags ready, possibly working to get some of that padding configured for the hatch opening.
Check.
And Endurance, I have you, I would say about 4 by 5. How many?